Alrighty, welcome back. We have got our window in our car, if you want to come take a look. When me and Jolene put it in the last time, it was too big for the car. I pulled the window out, took the pattern from, it's on the back of the car, I took the pattern, laid it on the window, and then I took the flapper wheel and knocked it off, and it really went well taking it off, taking the glass off. Just took the flapper wheel like that, knocked off the excess. This window right here is not absolutely perfect. It's probably good enough to go in there. I could sand it and polish it in a couple little places. I have a hair in it there, and I have a whatever, just a few little tiny things that I do not like. And besides that, I have one more piece of glass that I want to try. This is the first one. This is the second one. And this is going to be our third one right now. So what I've done for this is just to change it up a little bit from the second one that worked. I went to the dollar store and bought myself a bunch of little clamps, so I don't have to run over and get vice grips and try to do it that way. So this is what we want to do. I just want to show you in real time us making a window, and I want to try to perfect it for when we do get our rubber and we want to put our window in. This window here will be for mock-up, for putting the rubber in and putting the window in the car for mock-up. So that's what I'm going to use it for. And then I'm going to try to make a window that we're going to use for the car, try to do the best job we can. The only thing I'm really changing is I got the clamps ready, and I've put some, what's that, parchment paper on there. I just put a little bit of that on there. I think it might help it out a little bit. Yeah, I think it's going to help it out a little bit for dirt and that sort of stuff, because I can feel if there's any dirt on it or not. We don't want anything like that at all on there. Basically, I don't want any dirt on it. We'll see. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to take a little tape, stick that edge down a little better. I just took a little tape and stuck it on there. I'm going to put a little more on so it don't move. I guess that's fine. Just a second here. Got my paper tape ripped off already. Let's do this. Come on now. Just want to put a little tape on it so it don't flap off on me. There we go. This stuff is not supposed to burn, so that's what I'm going to do. Put that on there like that. Make sure there's no dirt on it. So basically, the first time we left it in too long. The second time seemed to be just right, perfect. But the problem was I had is I wasn't paying attention to the dirt. We laid it on a cloth first. We picked up some dog hair. We didn't notice it. I do not want to try to buff it out. I want a window that we can just use. And also I want to show you in real time how we get it done. Alrighty, I'm going to take this out. This is the cone that takes the heat. That's what takes the heat. Heat goes up in there and then comes out the holes and out the end. I have taken the time and found center of our buck, and I have found center of our glass. And I'm going to do that. Just put a little dot on the edge, put a little mark on that. That's what I did. So right now we're going to get a lighter. I left the barbecue on simmer, just low, 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 low. How low can you go? Keep your fingers crossed, because I really want it to turn out good this time. I don't want to have to do it again. But you know how it goes when you're learning stuff like this. It takes a learning process, and that's what I'm going through. So hope you can respect that. So there's what it looks like, lit up, simmered out. In the middle of this, or not in the middle of it, when I'm ready to pull the window out, I'm going to have to get Jolene to put the camera down, give me a hand to pull it out. So I'm going to put our cone in. I'm going to move this for a second. Put our cone back in. So on this attempt and on the second attempt, we did not leave the garage. We did not leave the garage. That's basically it. First attempt, we left the garage, went and had pizza, and we come back, it was on fire. It wasn't a good, smart thing. It was not a smart thing. And we're changing it up. We're going to stay right here. We're going to show you exactly how we do it. So we've turned it on. We're on just simmer. So I'm going to set this in here now. I'm not saying that this is the perfect way to do it, but this is the way we are doing it. This is the way we're doing it. Just want to check and see if we're the same distance away from the heat at the end of the exhaust pipe. I just want to see if we're the same distance away. Don't look bad. We don't look bad. We're going to go like that. Just a little bit further. Just trying to center it up so the heat gets centered. That's all I'm doing. Just trying to center it up for the heat. Same distance there. Yeah. It's not helping me out any. We're going to go with that. I just want to wipe that paper off to make sure there's nothing on it. And we're using this paper because it should not catch on fire. Nope, don't want to do that. Stirred the paper already, I did. Making sure things are right. That thing there has got to go. I get my paper wrinkled up already. Don't want the paper to wrinkle. No, I do not. Just want it to lay there. Alrighty. I'm going to take and lay the glass on. I'm nervous about the paper already. Got to peel this off. Nervous about that paper already in there. Oh, thank you very much, Jolene. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's put some gloves on. Let's put some gloves on. Them ain't the ones. Let's put a pair that fit. So, pair of gloves on. Don't know if I'll be able to get the plastic off with that on there, but we'll try. No. I bought a tack rag in case I have any problems with dirt, and we'll pick this up and then we'll see. Very clingy this stuff is for dirt. Wow. Let's put it in there. I see our center mark. Just going to line it up with the center mark that we have on the that paper's falling off already. Not making me happy. Hoping that that paper does a good job, because if not, it's going to not make me happy. Basically, not going to make me happy. Just trying to even it up here a little bit. We're in center with that. Now, what I'm going to do now is we're going to put the cover on. Just trying to sweep it off with dust. Try not to let anything fall inside of it. So, there's our cover. Basically, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to set up our clamps. We want a big one on the end. We want a big one on the end. We want another big one on the end. We want the good one, the bigger ones on the ends. And basically, I bought some clamps at the dollar store, figuring that it's better to use these than the vice grips. Although, what I can say is, at the right temperature. The vice grips did not affect the glass at all when you push it down. If you get it too hot, yes, it will. But when we did it, it did not affect it. It was quite surprising, and that made me happy. I'm hoping the paper on that is kind of sliding around a little bit. I didn't want to tape it on there too much. I didn't want to make the impression of tape on the glass at all. We'll see what happens. So basically, it's down on simmer. It's a barbecue with the plywood wrapped around it with tin foil paper so it does not burn. We're not going to try to get it to burn anyways. We're going to just try to get it to form, to melt down and form. This process is just, you know, it's a little bit of luck and a little bit of know-how, I guess. Right now, I'm still learning. So you're watching me learn, but we want to show you exactly how we do it, or how we did it. And this is where we're at. So basically, what I'll probably try to do is I'll probably try to get one end going, and then try to run it all the way along and then down. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. What happens is that metal gets very hot in there. The buck gets very hot, and sometimes I'm not sure. I don't know. But we just got to catch it at the right time. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep looking at it and paying attention to it, and we'll see how it goes. Like all these clamps there. Like I can take a look at it right now, and the only thing it's going to do is prolong the process. That's the only thing it's going to do, is prolong the process. So we're just getting started. You can see there it's fogging up in the middle. The glass is fogging up in the middle. You can see that, basically. We're just going to let her go for a little bit. And what's going to happen is, this is what I did last time. I stuck my finger on the edge of that glass. You can see where that glass is not really drooping right now, not drooping at all. When that starts drooping, that's the time when we're going to bring it out, because it's going to be pliable. I don't want it to come down over and be too pliable. I want to be able to apply it ourselves, because if I get it too pliable, then I'll cause myself a problem, is what I'm thinking. Just like this. You know, that's how we learn, trial and error, and that's what I'm doing. But right now, what I want to do is I want to use this one for the buck. I want to use this one to know the size of the window, because I do not know whether the window has to be to the edge of this line or it has to be all tight to that line. I do not have a rubber yet, but I want to just make the window so it fits in here. And then I'll use this one as a template with the rubber to see how far it has to go, where it has to be shaved to it fits. But I know right now that this window will work. But I want a nice clean one to use this as mock-up, and a nice clean one to put in the car. Basically about it. And that's where we're going with it. All we're doing is waiting for the process for it to droop down. She's not drooping yet. We got some while yet. Probably 15 to 20 minutes at the temperature that we're in there. I think Jolene timed it last time. It was about 20 minutes. So, how long did we put it in? You know, 4.5 minutes. So we got about 10 minutes or so to get it where it's got to go. I'm just going to pull all these clamps back. I'll just put them aside for now. Jolene's going to have to put the camera down to help me pull it out. It's good to have some help when you're doing this. I'm hoping, I didn't connect the paper very good on that. I'm hoping that the paper stays still. I just want a nice clean window is what I want. Just want a nice clean window. Trial and error. When we did this one the first time, it went quite well. Yes, it did. I wasn't ready with the vice grips. Obviously I was not ready. I did not know that I needed the vice grip, all that to hold it down. But you can see where there's no marks on the edge of this window glass at all. No marks on it whatsoever. Also, this window here is going to be a nice window to try with the vinyl wrap, clear vinyl wrap, to see what's going on. Then I'll have a good window for the end. This is my pattern. Also, I must say, the plexiglass that I'm using is 6 mil, quarter inch, 6 mil, quarter inch, and basically it's the same thickness as of real glass. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Thickness of the same real glass, and that's what we're going for. But I just want to show you how we do it in real time. I want to show you how we do it in real time. Basically, we're just kind of wait around here a little bit. Does not matter. Does not matter if you open the door of this at all. What it matters is that you pull it out at the right time. All I want to do is that glass to start drooping. Once that glass starts drooping, we're going to bring it out and start clamping it. So we're just kind of walking around here. Are you ready, sweetheart? Jolene, I got some gloves right here. These are Jolene's gloves. I'll put them right there. I've got, where's my gloves? Better get my gloves ready. Oh, got some gloves over here. Got some nice clean gloves. See how it goes. And there's a little bit of time, obviously. I don't have to clamp it right on. You noticed I had to run. I had to run a little bit to get this clamped down, so there's a little bit of time. I'm thinking that the buck that we have is keeping the heat. We've watched a few more videos. They had a heat lamp to do it that way. Well, that's why we're making this. We do not have a heat lamp big enough to do heat a piece of plexiglass up to get it pliable. That's why I'm using what we're using. Also, now that we know it works, we can make any window that we want, you know. I'm just trying to perfect a piece so I can have a nice piece to put in the car. That's basically it. Every time I open this, all I'm doing is slowing down the process of the cookies. That's the only thing I'm doing. It's not hurting a thing. It's not drooping yet, just kind of hanging on. We're just trying to get the temperature up on it. Also, I have a friend coming in. His name is Mike Huntley. I asked him to come in. I know there's a lot of fans of Oak Island. Mike Huntley is the diver that is aired on that show. He did some scary things there, going under the water and doing stuff, diving for them. And I've invited him over just to show you, or just to meet him in a conversation with me. I've known Mike most of my life. Mike was the kid that could always throw me off the hay wagon anytime he wanted to, and he probably still can. He's a good dude. His older brother was in the giveaway car at Fox Harbor for autism. His older brother was in that episode. We got the engine from Wendell, his brother. But Mike's coming in, and I'm going to ask Mike a few questions. Mike is another talented person that's from Nova Scotia. He's been born here he's been here all of his life. He owns a couple businesses in New Minas, and he owns a dive company. And we're going to ask him a few questions, and you'll get to see him and meet him through the video. If you want to watch, it'll probably be on after this one, probably, no doubt in my mind. But I invited him over just to show you how talented people are here in Nova Scotia. You know, there's a lot of talented people here, and Mike's one of them. What's that? It's not drooping yet. It's not drooping yet, but we'll just hold up a little bit. It's not drooping yet. Just slowing down the cookies. That's all I'm doing. Just slowing down the cookies. Slowing down the cookies. So if you want to make a window for your car, hopefully this will show you exactly how. What I've changed is I put a piece of paper down, just trying to keep it clean as possible. I put that paper on the buck this time, just trying to keep that clean as possible. We had gloves on last time. The clamps are different. I've changed up the clamp. I don't want to really use vice grips if I don't have to. It did not affect it any, but I just thought this would be a lot easier to open them up and go for it. That's what I'm thinking. Have not perfected this yet, not at all. Still learning, still learning. But what I can say is it can be done. It can be done. We're going to send for a rubber, and the rubber we don't know yet. We do not know yet. I'm going to have to cut the rubber. The rubber is going to fit around here perfectly, fit around the top perfectly. But when it comes to this section, the rubber is going to have to be sectioned just like the car is, and we're going to have to cut that and put that back together. Not quite sure how we're doing that yet. I had a friend at Speedy Auto Glass told me you could do it with a torch, heat it up, maybe some good epoxy. We'll see what happens. But that's going to have to be done. We're going to have to take the window out. We're going to have to put the rubber in, get the rubber fitting, tape it all the way around the whole outside of the window, get it fitting, section it, take the piece out that we need, get it glued back together. Then we're going to have to make sure the window is the right size to fit the rubber. That can be the test pilot for the vinyl wrap. This hopefully is our windshield, hopefully. Just slowing down the cookies again. Basically that's about it, just slowing down the cookies again. Just want to make sure it's pliable. So it's a waiting game. It's a waiting game. I'm going to stick my finger in on it, just touch it, see if it's, nope, not yet. Just all I did is push down on the glass, on this edge, just push down on it, to see if it was bending easy. Not yet, not yet. I wish I knew, well, I wish I knew more about it and done it more, but what can I say? It's a learning process, is it not? Is it not, baby? Learning process. I'm trying to stay calm this time. Sometimes you can get excited, kind of got excited running around for that stuff. I'm hoping that I'm geared up, ready to rock and roll. Dun, 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 dun. So basically, to make a window, I started with a paper pattern. I took tape and run it from there down to there. I think I explained that once before. Tape ran all there. Then I laid my paper on top of it, traced a pattern out of the window with paper. Took my paper and applied it to a piece of 1/8 plexiglass. Applied it to 1/8 plexiglass, and then this is my pattern to cut it on. I wanted to see it fit. I had to make the plexiglass fit the window before I made the pattern for sure. The paper was to see if I could. The paper was to get the shape of the opening, but it wasn't not a true pattern. So basically, that's where we're going. You want to go out, Fina? Come on, come on. You want to go out? Wants to go out. Going to check on the cookies. Just going to see if it's pliable. And all it does is slow down the process. That's all it does. Not yet. Not yet. It's not. See if our flame is still going. Yep. Just want to take a look. Trying to look in the, oh yeah, we still got heat rolling. There's still heat rolling. Stick with us. We're going to make a window here in a minute. Stick with us. Hopefully everything goes well. Stick with us. That way there you'll know how to do it. And that means that we both will know how to do it. Jolene knows how to do it. Don't you, baby? Huh? Jolene knows how to do it. What kind of time are we at now? 15 minutes. We're at 15 minutes in there, and I've been slowing down the process by opening the cover up. I've been slowing down the process. It's getting close. It's getting close. It's getting very close. So it's going to be, I'm going to say another, just keep watching it, another minute or so, and we're going to be hauling this bad boy out and going for it. Jolene's going to set the camera down probably. She might want to get ready. You want to set the camera down and get ready if you want? She's going to set the camera down and get ready. We're going to pull this bad boy out. I need my stand. You're going to need your gloves on, sweetheart. You're going to need my gloves on. I think that we should probably really get ready. I don't want nothing on my gloves. Just want to push on it. Just a little bit, just a little bit. I want to get it just right is what I want to get it. I want to get it just right. What's Fina barking at? Huh? Okay. Are you ready, you think? Let me check it again. Yeah, let's go for it. We're going to go for it, see what happens. Put there. All righty. Now we got to make sure you go up and over, please, sweetheart. Up and over. Up and over. Okay, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to make sure the window's fitting nicely, which it is. I'm going to push that down. Don't want to make any marks. Good, it's not making any marks. That's nice. Not making any marks. Just want to make sure it makes no marks. That's what I'm going to make sure. Beautiful. Go down here. Windows right. And want them nice and pliable. Don't want to make no marks. Just want to push it over this way a little bit. Basically, don't want to leave no marks. Just want to make sure it's still pliable. No marks. Go down this end. Hello. Hello, Harley Wally. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. That's Harley Wally. My daughter. Don't want to leave no marks. That's basically what is my concern. Just want to make sure it's pliable, not marking it up, because it's a delicate process if it marks it up, I guess. I'm going to go the other side. Excuse me, sweetheart. Just trying to get it to do the best we can. Thinking that I better just get it clamped on and call her a day, because it seems like it's in the right place. The metal holds it. That don't do anything to it. That paper, I hope not, because it wrinkled up there a little bit for me. Hope it don't affect it any. What do you think, Harley Wiley? Making a window. You need a window made for your car? Huh? You just have to hold it for a sec, okay, please? Just hold up for a sec. Take these off. Gotta get this thing held down. Beautiful along there. Gorgeous. Fina acting like, what's she acting like? There, we got that going good, going good, going good. just paper there that's doing that. It's going, laying good there. Everything's laying good. Laying good. Laying good. Leaving no marks, that's what I don't want. I want no marks. And, wow, Fina. Got no more clamps there. It's all good. He's held down nice. So basically, we do not want the glass melting at all. We just want it pliable, and that's basically it. We don't want it melted. We just want it pliable. Everything's holding tight. Everything's holding tight. Glass looks nice and smooth. Not sure what's going on here with this, with the paper wrinkling like that. Not sure what's going on there yet. I'm hoping it's just the paper, because I'm hoping it does not affect the glass. If it affects the glass, I probably won't be that happy. But we're looking good. Looking good. Nice and tight and right. Now we're just going to let that stay. Just going to let it set. Just looking, what I'm looking for is the glass coming off the metal, and it's looking good. It's looking really good. Huh? Looking good. I don't know why I'm changing that, but I did. Tight and right. Right on. Very happy with that. Looks nice and clean. I don't see any dog hairs. I don't see anything that I don't like. That's what I don't see. I don't see anything I don't like. So basically, it's going very good right at the present moment. Very happy. Windshield's nice and smooth and flat, eh, Jolene? Beautiful. I'm hoping that we nailed it. Hoping that we nailed it. Hoping. Also, we have a little paper there we missed because the paper wasn't wide enough. The parsnip, what's it called? Parchment paper, what you cook pizza on and stuff. Glass or paper that does not burn is what we stuck in there. It's all held down nice and tight. All in the corners are nice and tight. Very happy. Very happy. Oh, let's turn off the heat. Don't want to waste that. So, we're going to give it a couple minutes. We'll give it a couple minutes there right now. Just the way it is, we'll give it a couple minutes. Then we're going to pull it off, and we're going to see if we've done the right thing. And because I'd hope that it should not have, that paper should have not cause anything, because this is not causing any harm. It's kind of a weird situation, you know, because too hot, you can cause a problem on the edge when you pinch it down. It will be too soft, but we're looking pretty good. So I'm hoping, like, this is going to be the window, that's going to be the buck, or the template to put the rubber and all that stuff to know exactly what we're going to do here. Wow, I'm very happy with that. Very happy. As long as it didn't take shape to that paper, I'll be ecstatic. Just wait a minute. You can tell right now, plexiglass, the dust just wants to cling to it. It just wants to cling to it. And every time that you come in from nighttime or whenever you're playing with your car, every time you come to it, the dust would be clung to it. And I'm hoping that when we put the vinyl wrap on it, that the dust, that dissipates. It does not happen. We're hoping, or I'm hoping. Template, windshield. 1/4 inch, 6 mil. Barbecue, plywood, foil paper, and nerves of steel. I would say it's almost ready to come off. Say it's almost ready. It's amazing how you can put, you know, you're trying to get something to form, and it's the basic, what can I say, get it try to form, then you can put all this stuff on it. It doesn't affect it any, like you're squeezing it, but yeah, it's just forming, it's not melting. That's the point where you got to get it. That's what I thought was going to happen when we just started doing the vice grips. I was kind of surprised that it did not affect anything. It did not affect that window anyways. When I took it off and put it over here and sanded it with the flapper wheel, I just took my template, wrapped it around the window again, marked it out where I did it, and I just took the flapper wheel, took it off. In some places I took off probably a ½ inch because it was a ½ inch too big. We got a good thickness going on here for the window, 1/4 inch, 6 mil. I think 6 mil is a little bigger than 1/4 inch. I'm not sure. Shouldn't say that. Don't know. We'll give it a couple more minutes. That's still very hot. I'm thinking that the metal buck sort of helped a little bit to get the glass to go. It probably helped a little bit to get this glass to form right because the heat stayed in it. Just 1 second, I'm going to get Fina. Well, come on in there, doggy poo-poo. Happy, happy, happy. Happy, happy, happy. Yeah, so we'll let this go here in a minute and I'll pick it up and show you how clear it is. If you come back tomorrow, which I hope you do, we'll have Mike Huntley in the house. Mike Huntley was the diver on Oak Island, and we're going to ask him a few questions. Actually, I'm going to let him tell me everything he wants to tell me, to be honest with you. I know he's starting a new business. There used to be we went down to Kingsport Beach. I used to live in Kingsport most of my life. Mike lived in Medford and New Minas at the time when he was younger. But I think he's starting a new business right now where he's giving boat tours from Kingsport. It wasn't Port Williams, I don't think. It was Pugwash and Kippawa and Woofle. I think he's going to be doing tours on a boat. Mike was even involved with setting turbines in the Bay of Fundy. If you don't know it or not, we have the highest tides in the world. What I mean, the highest tides in the world, our water comes in and then goes back out. So they were trying to capture the energy out in the water with turbines. Mike was in on that. Mike's done a lot of very interesting things that probably people have no idea. His wife owns a lingerie swimwear hut, I think. I think they've even won awards that their business does so well. I guess with the diving and the swimsuits, it all comes as one. What else can I say about Mike? Mike's been on the show of Oak Island. He's a self-made man because I know where he come from. His father and his grandfather were farmers, and that's how I met Mike, picking potatoes and picking strawberries. That's how I met him. And I've known him most of my life. He also got caught up in the COVID situation, and he can talk about that and see how he's making out. He's a business owner, and it affected him a little bit, I think, and we'll get him to talk on it, see what happens. What do you think, sweetheart? Haul that thing off? Let's haul this bad boy off, just see what happens. Going to go to the other side. It's not lifting or anything. That's the main thing. I just don't want it to lift and wrinkle. That's why we're held it on there. So if you need anything, like a window for anything that has a shape to it, make the shape. Keep an eye on it in your little box here. First time we did not keep an eye on it. That was a big mistake, to go down the house and have pizza while something is cooking. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. I will not do that again. I will not do that again. I'm gonna take these off, just playing it safe, going down to the end last. Playing it safe. Staying in shape. You can tell, like, nothing's marked. It's crazy how that, you just got to get it at the right time, that it's pliable, not melting. And this is what you call melting. Well, we were making lava rocks, I forgot to tell you. You know. Alrighty. Once I pull this one off, I'm hoping it stays. There you go. No marks on it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Not as beautiful as you are, though, Jolene. Not as beautiful as you are. Alrighty. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let it set that for a second. I'm just going to let it set there for a second. Little mark there. Just looking at it. There's your window, all in a handbag. No, that's mine and Jolene's window. You can make your own window, but I want to show you exactly how we did it. I'm ready to pick this bad boy off, am I? I just want to stand it up and show how clear it is. How about, I'm going to take this window off, and then we can put it in there, and then we can see how clear it is. I pull this window out. How nicely that stays in shape. The dust sticks to it crazy. Dust sticks to this plexiglass, just attracts to it like something crazy. The next step will be putting the vinyl wrap on it, and the vinyl wrap will be going on that one first. This is going to be our window. Can I get you to put the camera down and just help me stick this on? We're just going to stick it on the car to see what it looks like, just to show you. Point it at the car, I suppose. I'll be your, what's that called? Your template. What's that? Okay. I'm going to take the window off. I'm going to take it off. Yeah. Well done. Just get our hands on the edge here. We'll set it maybe at the top first. Here we go. There's our window. That's our window. Could come this way just a little bit. I want to see if it comes the way a little bit. And I see I have a little tiny scratch on this side. A little tiny scratch. And what I'm saying with that little tiny scratch is that plexiglass can be buffed. It can be buffed. Yes, it can. I think we could come, I could pull it this way just a little bit. You can see that we're out here a little bit on this. It's stuck out a little bit. And that would take place of that. I don't really want to shove on it. See, we're shy here. But it's sitting out here. I can move it around a little bit, but I don't want to move around too much. It's kind of pointless, really. It's pointless. I got to take a little bit off there. But you can see the window. And you know how to do it because we just showed you. That window right there, I think, is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That's what I think that window is. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice and flat. You want to come take a look across here? Beautiful. Although I do see a little bit of paper action on the back side of that, but I'm thinking our rubber is going to get it. Beautiful. What do you think, baby? Gorgeous. Alrighty, we're going to let you go from there. That's how we did our window, and you can do the exact same thing by doing the exact same process. It was not that hard. Was not that hard, but it was hard. You know what I mean? It was not that hard, but it was hard, just because you don't know when you're going for it. But anyways, there's a window for a 56 Merc. We're going to use that one for a test pilot, getting it in the rubber and stuff. And this one will be the window for the car. Have a good one, everybody. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk to Mike.